That's nice. Hey, Pedro.
What's going on?
Hey, who do you think you are?
Do any of us really know who we are?
Episode 11 or
11.
11? Was that correct? Oh, thank you for saving that for
Right for when we begin.
rolling.
Yeah.
You may notice that our famous delay sound was not taken
Yeah,
out.
we
How'd
took that
you
out.
feel about that?
I don't know. I mentioned it last week, I think,
Yeah.
and
You put a worm in my ear.
I put a little something else.
A little
in your ear,
noodler.
too.
Man, I don't even know
Crazy.
really where to start here. It's been such a crazy week, especially with news. One thing I will bring up first,
Go
of just
for
like,
it.
we keep on talking about how we kind of create these like scenarios in our heads, whether it being like a positive or a positive or a negative way, you know?
Right.
And I feel like we talk about this a lot. I feel like I would caught myself that like a couple days ago, like with work. I was like at home and I was like thinking so much of all these like, I don't even know why. Nothing was happening. I was just like creating, stories
Like
inside
a
of my head.
negative energy? Or?
Yeah, exactly. And then
Huh.
I was like feeding the beast in that way. Like you keep feeding and you keep like, and it goes in these like infinity loops of just
Yeah.
negativity and like
Yeah.
just clouds your life.
For sure, dude. And that's kind of how I was last week. Like, we had Cop Buddy Paul on, and...
Cop Buddy Paul,
Cop
listen,
Buddy Paul.
episode 10.
Yeah, we had him on, and I was just in my head, we got back to my house, and Rachel asked us, and she's like, how'd it go? And I was like, all right. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to discourage him, because I was really kind of in my head about how I sounded and how I was kind of, like you said, making up all this negative for absolute, like manifesting
scenarios.
this for no reason. Like, and it's a bad place, man. And I remember I told you this the other day. I was like, that morning I didn't do my yoga. I didn't get started. And, it was a later, I'm not blaming it on this or anything. It was like we recorded a lot later than we usually do.
Yeah, sorry, Pedro.
No, it's okay, man.
I made a fool of
No,
myself.
I enjoyed the episode. I went back and I listened to it, of course. And I mean, I didn't sound as bad as I thought I did, So,
No, you sounded pretty bad.
well, I mean, come on, give me some credit. bro.
But so I was thinking like how much of the, if like there is a law of attraction or something, it could be a negative way too. Of like these scenarios that we're making in our head, like does it maybe create them in a way to make them come true? Like maybe it's manifesting them in a way. Like you're manifesting. Number one, you are manifesting your own unhappiness in
For
that
sure.
present moment because
Yeah.
you're not enjoying everything and just.
Right.
So it's just straight. I'm glad that I can realize that now because I feel like I spent so much of my life in these infinity loops with not just work but like relationships, family,
Yeah.
friends, and just like a million fucking things just like pinballing in my head, and I'm just like you need to stop, and then I kind of stopped and just you realize that you are not your thoughts. You are like a mouth breather, but like you know what I mean. But like you're just living in the
Right.
now, and you need to stay present with that. And I started kind of going down this like trail of that, and you think about like how many people are stuck in that like infinity loop of just negativity and like bad scenarios, and just the
I
worst
get
is gonna
it.
happen.
But it's like, in their view, do they think there's like not an outlet? Like, is there no happiness? Is there absolutely no happiness, and that's why they're constantly in that? Like,
I don't know.
or are you talking like, I mean, I guess every day to day people going to their jobs and just being miserable at
Yeah.
work, and going home and not being happy in their relationship, or just not even in a relationship, even if that's out of the
Whoa,
picture.
whoa.
Come on, man. But it's like, I don't know. I feel bad for those people.
Me too. But I feel bad for myself because I lived in it for so long. Because then you almost get like you're comfortable with
And
your happiness.
I don't mean to say like those people, like I'm not a part of it, because I definitely, like I just told
think
you,
everybody
I went
is.
yeah, I went through this last
Yeah.
week, and it's that ego, dude. It's like
Totally, that's true.
It's that fucking balance of healthy ego. What is it? Where are we at with that in society?
And it's funny because listening back on last week's episode, like I said it even in a positive way. Like, do you have like these like grandiose, like heroic kind of moments, like because you build those and like. And the more we talk to people and you like figure out everybody's making these own scenarios in their head and like living,
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, like I'm not special, like I'm not like everybody is living in this like,
Yeah.
and we need to like fucking dial it back, man. I wish like everybody could kind of like, all right, And then so you realize that, and then you can either let people share that with people and they can cut it out and try to work on themselves. Or I think you just have to come to a point too, like you're a negative person, like I need to cut you out of my life because all you're doing is creating problems and you're complaining about this and complaining about that. Like I get so fucking tired of people just start bitching all the time.
About
like,
everything.
About everything. Because there's so many things to complain about.
This is just going to be called the
complaint.
People bitching podcast.
Yeah, I like that.
Fuck
Two
that.
guys, two hats, and bitching.
And bitching.
Bitching and beers.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it is with people. Or with us, with humans. You know?
Well, I think just being aware, and I don't think we're taught enough.
You think technology, like, set us or steered us into like a bad direction, a worse direction?
I think for sure you're putting your ego out. You're creating like an online version of your ego.
Yeah.
I mean, so
yeah. Well, for the first 2 months that I knew you, I was catfishing you.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Facebook.
I know you were hot. You were smoking.
Dude, I was banging. I remember. Those are my actual pictures.
Yeah, like every picture looked completely different, but I was like, I trust you.
I
Loves
trust
me.
you.
We talked on the phone.
3 miles away. I can't meet.
That catfish shit's crazy.
Yeah, man.
But I do think that technology probably
but-
created the ego in a way. I think it's responsible for it, and that's why I don't really like using those platforms for anything other than like promoting music or promoting the podcast. You just That's really what I tried, and I try to really nail it on myself. Like, don't just be scrolling or don't just do this. I really am harsh on myself about like how much time I spend staring at my phone.
Yeah.
Because like just every couple of minutes can be so productive of, I don't know, thinking in new ways and whatnot.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely, I understand.
So yeah, I just had that intro of like this self-help deal, and I wanted to share it because I just feel like it's just a good reminder because we all do it, and sometimes just.
And there's something about like saying this in your head to yourself.
Yeah.
And there's another thing about sharing it with somebody, because then that like, it transfers energy. The shit's contagious, Smiling is contagious. Like if you smile and like or laugh, like people will start laughing. Have you seen that fucking video? All the people on the bus. It works.
Are you guys laughing?
Noki's laughing.
He's scared. He's like running away.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
He's done this before.
They're like still with this thing.
Every week.
He's like, this is my fucking nap time. This is prime nap time.
Seriously. No, but like there's a video of like the guy in a bus just watching a video online, laughing his ass off with his headphones in, and all these people around him are just like they start laughing because he's laughing so much.
What video is it?
It's literally a video of a guy watching a video on the bus surrounded by people.
No, what video is he watching?
Oh, I have no idea.
Not like this Inception thing, like the video of the guy.
No, he's probably watching his video.
Have you seen any good funny videos lately?
Have I?
Yeah.
No.
I don't.
I've tried not
it's
to
that
scroll.
same thing,
I've
yeah.
tried not to scroll. So.
And that's the thing about scrolling. Like, you'll get those little rewards of like, oh, that's a funny meme. But then,
Yeah.
like, really think about that. Like, is it worth just for like that little, you know what I mean? Or like this
burst of dopamine.
Right. I guess that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this little like.
It's a little one up in Mario.
Yeah, exactly.
Or when you get the mushroom.
Your ego's growing and growing.
Yeah.
But I think you mentioned before, like there is a healthy amount of ego, right?
There has to be.
Is there? I don't know.
Who's to say?
God. Hey, God. We should get God on the podcast.
No,
Any user. So,
I think he'd like it.
do you think he'd like it?
Probably.
We'd have so many like. He's like, none of that shit happened, man. He's like these fucking. Speaking of the church, should we get into that?
Oh God, yeah.
That's a
Religion?
great-
What's
yeah.
going on?
The Catholic Church is at it again. It's really strange. Like, is there any other group of people or things that like it happens this often in? Of like pedophile. Okay, so we're referring to obviously the Pennsylvania case of the church. Like, was it over 70 years? There was 300.
Like documentation.
Yeah, of over 1,000 kids of being molested
disgusting.
at one church, and like those are the same
And the
priests
Pope
that are
just
like.
wrote a letter.
Yeah, he didn't. He was just like, oh, we're
we're-
disheartened. Like,
We're disheartened and like, what did he say? He said, we were sad that we couldn't get to this sooner, or we couldn't deal
So
with
she
this.
said.
I'm paraphrasing here. So he's like, I'm very upset, and we have to deal with this. But he never said like he wasn't like
sorry or
convicting
yeah.
about. It wasn't like
He's
trying
like-
to convict anybody.
He's
I
like,
don't
they
know,
still
that's
make
weird,
great
dude.
subs at Subway. It's like, what are we talking about? But no, but it's funny because he's a cool pope. He's edgy, like kind of up with the times. But
Pope.
at the same time, he's still like the puppet master for kind of, sorry, a bullshit thing. I mean, however you feel or don't
Yeah.
feel about that. I mean, I'm sorry if you connect to that and you feel good about it. I'm happy for you.
That's nuts.
But it just does, it seems crazy. It's like how many, I don't know, like it's a crazy amount of people that are just like molesting kids and then they're preaching to people. It's like it's so hypocritical.
Yeah.
And then they're also like baptizing kids. They're like, drinking the blood of Christ with and sharing it with people. Like this fucking pervert is like preaching you and it's like to your grandma, like her salvation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, cause my grandma was a devout Catholic. My family, at least my dad's side.
Yeah.
Oh, very Catholic. And like,
Yeah.
now that I'm not in that religion at all, I'm just kind of like, what the fuck is going on over? Like, how would I feel if I was, you know what I mean? It's like,
Well, you think they turn their
they do,
That's
and that's
exactly what they've been doing.
That's what's crazy.
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
insane to me.
Me too. I'd be like, maybe I should like look around for, or not like be idolizing these people that are monsters. And I know that's I don't know what the percentage of priests that molest kids are, like 78%.
It's all about the hardcore facts here at who do you
Cool,
think you are?
72%. I don't know. I'm saying it's high. I'm saying it's too high. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever it is,
I don't
it's
know
fucking
the
high.
percent,
Yeah.
but I guess in any thing, like the percentage would be high. I was actually talking to my sister about this last night because it's good dinner talk.
Right.
And she made up a good point. She's like, "Is that only in America where that's happening, or does that happen in other countries
That's
too?"
true,
And I have no
yeah.
idea. And she said that, and I could have looked it up. I could have, done some research, but I didn't. I just said, that's interesting.
Well, we're dealing
What do you think?
here in America.
Do you think that everybody, like, maybe we just don't get international news the same degree?
I don't think so unless you're like in that culture. I know, like,
What is it with powerful people that seem to like have a thing for kitty diddling? Because there's like supposedly like secret government societies too, so like that they like to do that too.
yeah, I have no
It's
idea.
strange.
It's strange. I don't want to even. That's a weird topic. Kiddly diddlers.
We're back with more kitty diddling.
No, man. Well, the whole Me Too movement too is kind of like.
Yeah. Yeah, what was her name? That just came out 2 days ago or something. She paid, when she was like 33 or something, she paid off like almost $400,000 to hush a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And she's one
And
of the
she was
main
one
Harvey
of the main
Weinstein.
advocates for fucking.
What? I think you were saying like it was kind of different how, what was she was like abusing her power more, or was it a sexual advance? I didn't read into it, to be honest with you. I was just like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Well, I kind of just briefly watched a video of it. I kind of wrote some notes, but I mean, it was. I don't know. She's like, it just shows like the hypocritical side again with the
Right, putting somebody on blast for something. Yeah.
for something that you already fucking did, you
Right.
know. And I don't know, man. She like, I've noticed this with like women, lady rapists or whatever.
Lady-
Yeah.
Lady diddlers.
Lady diddlers.
Lady fingers.
I feel like they like turn it more of like into a obsession, like a relationship. When like if it's a dude, he kind of just wants to grab him by the pussy.
I heard that too, or it's almost like, the teachers and stuff that do, it's like they almost want a relationship
Yeah,
with
they're
the kid.
looking-
Like have this weird like mother-son fucking.
Ooh, that's my favorite category.
It's a great category.
Yeah, you
What
gotta
a
delve into it.
strange category. Like there's like, are we just fucking running out of shit? Like mother and son. Like why are you like Jesus Christ? Dude.
Really?
It's like,
Would think for your mom?
Really? Yeah, I know. It's like
And deep down, isn't that what it would be like, or is it?
I don't know. It's like it's is it motherly? I mean, they just like lost. I have no idea. But it's the same thing because then you get like, how do you feel about like age gap love? I mean, because if you think about, isn't like a 70-year-old with like a 20-year-old, like Dane Cook's like with a 19-year-old right now. He's like 45 or something.
Oh,
She's
shit.
19 or 20. And it's
That's
like
no, like what are they gonna talk about?
I don't know if they talk. Maybe they don't talk. Maybe they're just banging. But isn't that fucked up? Like that's still. I mean, it's,
Yeah, no, for sure.
But in our society, we're like, oh, that's fine. They're over 18, so they are like, and maybe that's true. Maybe like they feel like your brain's developed enough. I don't know. I don't
think it is.
It makes
That's
me
like
feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Moving on through the news, did you see it? Have you been following that? Like, I think we kind of talked about in passing one time that Iowa college student. She's like the 20-year-old jogger, and they just found her body. She was like missing for a couple weeks, and they finally found her.
Okay.
Did you follow that story at all? Well, it was like it went silent for a while, so it's kind of weird. Like she was missing. She was a 19 or 20-year-old like Iowa college student. And she would go for runs. And then she just went missing. So there's a big.
They just found. Yeah, I
so
actually
they found
just
her body.
saw the picture of they found their body.
Yeah, and I guess they like followed her Fitbit tracker or something that kind of like took her there. And I guess some guy was like following her. Then he got out of his car, like started running with her, and then said he like blacked out, and then like put her in the trunk and like left her.
He blacked out.
Yeah, he said he like blacked out, and and he was an undocumented illegal immigrant from Mexico, which now is the greatest story for like, the conservative side. Now it's like, I told you, like,
This wall needs to go up.
This wall needs to go up. Like, and that's what Donald Trump said, because he has a bunch of other fucking political, like his lawyers and shit getting sued, and the one was convicted of 8 counts so he's like, well, that's a shame.
Yeah,
he's like, he just kind of turns it to the side and be like, well, that's why we need to do this. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's fucked up, and
Isn't
you
there
look at
already
that,
a wall
but it's
there?
like, yeah, but and at the same time, it's like you're using this one story. We talked about this last week. You're using this one story of an undocumented illegal immigrant that murdered somebody, unfortunately. But now it's this whole immigration issue.
What about the what?
It's
58 people that got
shot in Chicago
Like, what
during
was
the
that?
weekend.
Like,
what was that? Or even when we had Paul
This past
week,
weekend.
he's like, the people getting stabbed, and like, I mean, you can turn, like, I swipe left on my phone a lot for just kind of get that quick news, because that's just, I don't know.
And if she's
I've really, yeah, or she's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there'll be like, man kills family of 4. Like, did you see, like, he says she was strangled. Like, there's so many of those stories. Like, how many people are dying from that way? And then they're like, but we just take this one story because it's convenient for our story.
No, that's exactly what it is. That's sadly modern day journalism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
So we got a YouTube channel.
That's true.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, when are we going to do these cooking videos?
I don't know. That'd be fun. I was thinking of kind of when, like, holidays come up.
Oh.
We'll do like a fun, like,
Thanksgiving,
Christmas, or like, maybe birthdays, or like or seeing how well they kind of go. We'll,
yeah. I think we have like two views on each video. So.
That's all we need, man. One thing, there's been like such a drop off in podcasts this last week that I start like fiending for
another podcast.
And then so I was just like scrolling through so many, just trying to like get my fix.
What did you land on?
There was this one that was unexplained mysteries, and it was a strange one because it felt like very scripted, or like very I don't know, information driven, which was cool because I listened to so many just conversation where people are just shooting the shit. So it was very like professional and very like they had sound effects and the one I listened to was on the Malaysia flight.
Oh wow!
Which was like a 3-hour story, which is funny because we talked about that a little bit.
Is it a conspiracy?
Well, there's kind of we never really found anything. We found 3 pieces.
You went searching?
I listened.
No,
so I want to fucking. It's a crazy story, dude. So the Boeing jet that got lost at whatever time, supposedly there's like never accidents or anything that happened. And then at one point, like 6 months prior to this, they got like like a little like fender bender, essentially. Like they hit their right wing and then they replaced the whole wing. And this is important for later on in the story, but just knowing that they replaced it. Okay, so you go into the sky, everything's seeming normal. Then when they start like trading off the frequencies when they cross over different countries, they need to say like, okay, we're here, like hi, and then they take over air traffic control. All of a sudden, they lose signal. They turn around backwards towards Malaysia, and then turn like a weird like kind of turn towards India, and nobody has any idea why. Like it just that they were
That's how it happened.
uncharted for 7 hours. They just know like through like these little like telecommunication things with satellites, so it like kind of beeps to know that it's flying, but it doesn't actually track it. So whatever. So it gets lost, and then years and years pass, and then they find 3 pieces like over 1,200 miles apart from each other, all from the right wing. And what's crazy about this is like on all the pieces, they were all covered in what's fucking not seaweed, like algae over the whole like completely around it when they were buoyant, like they were floating. Okay. So it would have only happened on one side of them, but they all happened to have that all around them. And when one of the diplomats from Malaysia went to investigate, like to search it or whatever, he got gunned down and like murdered on his way to like search the material. Like and then the inventory on the plane was all completely, it was like I don't know the number of like thousands of pounds of like, they called it like batteries and something else, and it was like hundreds of thousands of pounds of like and these are all like kind of details that they share like at weird times. There's like, and then the guy who flew the plane had like a simulation thing inside of his basement that he would ride, and then he deleted his history prior to the flight. And a couple of months prior to that, him and his like happy wife, happy family, all of a sudden like they got a divorce, and like he turned in a really weird way. There's so many weird things about him. They're like
variables.
And they're, you know, what I liked about that podcast too is like it's they rate it like the probability of like something's like strange, because conspiracy theories a lot of times are everybody's like, well, this is the way. That's not how I look at conspiracies. No. I'm just like, there's something that we're not being told. Yeah. And that's how I feel with a lot of kind of big conspiracy things are going. I just think it's like it's information that's being kind of withheld in a weird way, because like if normal people, like if our news and stuff told these stories, like wouldn't we be like, wait, he got gunned down going, they didn't say what was on the plane, like they only find the right wing, the one that was weirdly replaced like there's
6 months earlier, like,
and then I think we ended up dialing it off as terrorism or something, and then we're like, okay, well, case closed, and we closed the case like 3 weeks ago. But so now it's just this huge like gray area of like, now we're never gonna, I don't know, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Fuck, man, who was on that plane?
There was
there anybody like they were trying to fucking knock out?
The only thing I know
whack?
That there was like 19 like Chinese writing translators, or like something along like the line of that, like they studied that, but I think that was just a coincidence. It was a huge plane, and you know what I mean. I don't know. Speaking of conspiracies, a lot of podcasts have been talking about this too, of the whole like Alex Jones getting deplatformed from everything. Yeah. How do you what are your gut reactions on that?
I mean, I've never listened to him. I know there's like a bad stigma about him. I've also heard like he just drinks a lot. I've heard that.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's got a lot of good points, but he's also got a lot of like whack
bad
points.
Shit, crazy.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't agree like that they're trying to take his First Amendment.
Dude,
like,
that's what's strange to me.
It's like, I think it starts there.
That's what they call this controlled opposition, where it's basically like the people that are setting it up, like because they want to fight against all the people that are like with the whole free speech thing, and then what they do is they kind of throw them little bones. So it's little victories, like, oh yeah, we deplatformed that motherfucker for talking batshit and everything. Then all of a sudden it turns back around, and then you know what I mean? Then the things that they don't want to be silenced start becoming silenced. Yeah. It's a very slippery slope. So it's like these people that are cheering and shit, like, dude, look fucking behind you, like, because shit's gonna start coming for you. I mean, let's go back to, we could kind of tie back into hypocritical things with, you know, the girl that came out that she sounds somebody, or even the Catholic Church of preaching things and not actually following through with them. It's, I don't know where I was going with that.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones.
Censorship. Yeah, I don't agree with it. You know, I think everybody. I mean, he still has his website though, doesn't he? Like he can still put his.
And supposedly it's more popular than ever now.
Oh yeah, because that's what's gonna happen.
Right.
That's fucking.
Well, that's a strange thing of like when you start looking at like Facebook and YouTube and all these like huge communities, like what is their responsibility too? Like who are they supposed to silence? You know,
Right.
like I think Facebook just said they like banned thousands of, I don't know if it was bots or just people from like Iran, Russia, like to not be like, because you know they're trying to like they're trying to rebrand it, this whole like new group and like yeah, it's just like. I don't know. It's strange. It's a very strange world, and so many things are moving so quickly. It's hard to
keep up,
or even wrap your head around it. Which
seriously,
is probably why so many people keep their head down,
and on their screens
and on their screens. Well, it's that's the dopamine too. They tricked us in a weird way.
Fucking shoved us into the fucking cages, man.
They tricked us into the cages.
We're about to get our heads cut off.
Oh my gosh.
That was very
that was very spontaneous.
I watched the Amy Winehouse documentary on Netflix, dude. It's fucking sad. It is so sad. She didn't have like a support system whatsoever.
Booze.
Huh?
Booze.
I know, dude. It was just very, very sad life.
I heard it was really good. I want to watch it.
It is good. No, I definitely recommend it. 2 hours, 2 hours and 7 minutes.
I mean, come on,
man. We started that like at 10:30. We didn't go to bed till like 12:31. Just because I stayed
12:31. Very specific.
Yeah, that's a very specific.
And lights off.
Yep. Shut the TV off.
I started watching like Castle Rock show.
Oh, I did too.
I started watching it, then I stopped watching it.
And then I started again.
And then I had a couple people like online, and so I was like, oh, it's really good. And I was kind of looking for something.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
It is good.
It's really good.
It starts off
really slow. That was my problem.
And that's why I kind of picked something else to watch in between.
Uh-huh.
I'm watching another show. It's a Spanish show, but then I went like back to that one.
Yeah.
It's like very, very good.
I think what was difficult
very well written.
At first is like I don't know which characters to like watch or pick, like, you know, because there were so many people, so many stories. You're like, where? Yeah, and then as you get like 4 or 5 in, I'm just like, holy shit!
No spoilers, no
good.
Spoilers. Yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Really good. Did you saw a movie last night? No.
Yeah, Crazy Rich Asians.
How was it?
It was really good. I enjoyed it. It gives you a perspective of a different culture, for sure. And then my buddy Shane, like, I talked to him about it this morning.
Uh-huh.
He was just saying he related to that movie a lot because, you know, he was kind of raised by his grandparents or, you know.
Yeah.
And I genuinely enjoyed it a lot.
I'm seeing.
Did you see it?
Not yet. I'm supposed to see it this weekend. I'm seeing the Black Klansman.
Oh, that
I'm so excited. I've wanted to see it for so fucking long, dude. I'm so excited. I'm finally seeing it.
I had a couple buddies that said it's really good.
Yeah, I was. I know. Last time you texted me,
that's like the rating now, right? It's like, oh, it's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, you're really gonna enjoy that one.
Yeah.
I got a little. Yeah, you texted me last night. I got a little schmammered last night. I got a little.
Where'd you go?
Well, so I've been like planning on going to these. I like knowing where my like local watering hole is. The one I can walk to is like there's 2 that are like a mile and a half away from here. Okay. So it's like it's been on my list to like check these places out or whatever. And then so I was supposed to see the movie last night, but my mom blew me off.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. And she's super flaky. And I realize now looking back at my traits, my mom totally made me like that was where I got that trait from, being flaky. So anyways, like I scheduled my week out enough where I'm like I was planning on going out last night. So I was like, you know what? I'll finally just go to those 2 fucking spots, you know, the local bars. So my sister joined me for the first one. I was like, all right, it's okay.
Where was it?
It was like it was like NPX or something, like just right off Bell. I don't know. It was like a new little place. And I was like, okay, it's all right.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that I was like pretty divey that my sister's like, I have to go home because she's a teacher, you know, I was wake up early and whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna go to the other one because wanted to walk and whatever. Walk in there, like the Pixies are playing. The next song's The Cure, then the Smiths, and I'm like, whiskey, PBR. I'm like, this. I think I found my new spot. It's like super dark.
Nice.
Only old people get like. There's no like young people get enjoyment. I'm like, this is. And it was like $19
for your tab.
For my tab, and I'm like, this is my spot.
Is my spot.
So now I got a spot.
Yeah.
And I was walking home, which was lovely because you know podcast, and I was like, this is a great mile and a half walk. Just smoking some
And walking's good for you.
smoking some weed.
There you go.
Listen to some rock, and then I woke up this morning and I was like, I totally forgot what a hangover feels like. It has been so long.
Dude, the recent times, yeah, it's bad. The recent times that I've drank, like 2 hours after I stop drinking, I get a headache. And
For
I'm
sure.
like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
why? Like,
It's funny because you mentioned like ever since we did that thing,
Yeah,
I
ever
haven't
since
enjoyed drinking because that keeps on happening to me.
Dude,
So
it
it's
sucks.
either that or I have to keep on going so I know that my head. So and that's what gets me into the mess like last night. But I did wake up and like smiles. Like it was a really fun
Yeah.
night though. At least like it feels rewarding when you feel like shit. At least like when you
Yeah.
kind of like.
yeah, that was worth it.
It was like
I'm
it
gonna
felt
eat something fatty, I'll feel fine.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I also was thinking though too. I was like, because I skipped my workout, yoga, meditate, and I haven't
really?
done that in so long.
Oh, man.
And I was like, because I couldn't.
Do you need an intervention?
I just couldn't. But I know. What I got was I was like, I used to feel like this every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, how did I ever get anything done? I had it so in my brain that it was like part of my creative process to be like a hungover
up.
piece of
Yeah.
shit. That I was like, I can't like.
That misogynistic.
But what it was like it was like throwing a cloak over this whole waste of time where it's like I felt like I could get away with being lazy or being a fucking lazy piece of shit because I was hungover or whatever. So like I almost created that scenario for myself in a weird way.
Yeah.
I was like creating my own enemy, and I've learned that from that book that I was like I'm very fucking slowly reading, The Art of War. Because it talks so much about resistance and how it will kind of disguise itself in different ways. And I was like, that's what it was. I was trying to like, and it's almost like those infinity loops. That's what drew me to drinking so much. Of just like stop, leave me alone. Like I can just go into this like blank kind of stare. But now I don't feel, it's not rewarding to do that because you can achieve that through all these other steps of things that you can do throughout your day to like actually be functioning at a higher level and be
and
creating
healthier.
and being healthier and
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's why I was late this morning because I was like, dude, I have to get at least a quick yoga in.
That's good, man.
I went this morning. I became a new uncle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uncle Pedro
my sister,
coming to town. Uncle Pedro coming to town.
Had her baby. Had her
baby,
baby.
had her baby. Yeah.
So we went over there and saw him, and I didn't have time. And then we stopped and got food, and then we go home, and I was like, you know what? I'll eat on the way over there. That's why I have my leftovers. And I was like, I have to do like a quick, and I did a quick, 17-minute work or like yoga, and it's. I kind of talked to you briefly, like. It's that monkey mind, we're always fucking rushing and always moving and and it's taking a little step out of that and it is really important on how when you start doing it, it affects, everything. And when you don't do it, it's like, oh my God, it throws you off balance.
Yeah, I'm fucking proud that you're keeping at it. Like it's awesome to hear that you're like staying with it. It's awesome to hear that you're like you realize what it does.
For sure.
It's like 17 minutes, dude. Like, and you feel like you can't fit all these things. Like when I think about my schedule out loud of like things that I make myself do, I'm like, you're a fucking crazy person. But it's what it fucking takes, man. So it's like it's every small step that you start making. Then you crave these improvements in your life because you start feeling better just from your yoga.
Work at it more.
Like, holy shit, 17 minutes? I wonder what like 30 minutes is like. Or I wonder
and
if
that's what I usually do. I'll do like a 35-minute class.
And then you're like, maybe I shouldn't eat differently or like, I don't know. It's awesome.
That's another thing, dude. I've been using food more as like fuel, kind of just to charge. I've been eating chicken and tortillas, like gluten-free tortillas.
I've changed. I know and you can really rewire your brain like that in a weird way too when you start eating cleaner.
And then when you do binge on something good, it's like, oh my God, it's glorious.
Sure. But you also realize like how fucking shitty the American diet is because when you're eating good and you're like feeling good and like light, like not like light in the like pound way, but like you don't feel heavy or weighted down like sludgy by like fast food and frozen food.
Man,
and you look at all these people around you, they're like. Eating that 2 or 3 times a day, like, I'm like, dude, you probably fucking feel like shit, man. Like, you probably feel like shit.
You're tired all the time.
Tired, yeah.
Fucking groggy. And I was like, I'm trying to get my parents into like yoga. Like I've sent my mom videos and like ask her if she's
Are you doing it naked still?
Yeah, still, yeah.
Is Rachel getting like some good camera
She
angles?
gets good angles, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, the balls get in the way, but we just move them. Yeah.
Scoot to the
Come
side.
on, Ray. Yeah.
I'm looking for that clear shot.
Yes,
Clear shot.
right.
Clear shot.
We want a face shot.
Damn it, Pedro.
I can't hold this
Spank you.
pose. Yeah. That's when I fall over.
My mom's never gonna do these yoga videos. And no, but what's funny about that, man, is and that's, you know, circling back to negative people. It's, you look at that when you look at the people that you surround yourself with, you can flip that and be like, I'm surrounding myself with like positive people that are doing things, making themselves better, and that's like that's
You
very
want that. You want to.
contagious.
You want that.
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
I feel I do actually feel that with even my parents too, or you know, because my mom's been eating a lot better for a long time. It just only because I've kind of opened her eyes to it. Like when you start doing that, you start feeling that change of like, holy shit, like what am I eating? So you look at food as fuel, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of been doing.
Which is weird for me because
I
like,
love food.
I love food.
I love food.
And being like a chef, that's like rabbit quotes or whatever. A chef, air quotes.
You are a chef.
No, I'm not. I'm a cook. A chef's like your whole life. I hate when people like mislabel chefs and cooks.
Okay, so you're a cook.
I'm a cook.
All right.
Because like it's not my whole life, but it's weird because it was so much of my identity for so long. Because I love food and I do still really like cooking, but it's strange. I'm trying to find my relationship with it and like how they all kind of can work and together. You know what I mean?
Well, we're trying to incorporate into this podcast, man, by making some fucking videos.
Yeah, but what kind of like shitty food? Like I mean, see that was,
we can go out and shoot a turkey on Thanksgiving.
That'd be dope. See, because the thing is that with a lot of my relationship with food was kind of around drinking. Like that's that fucking leech that clings on to all these different aspects of your life they don't realize that they do. Mm-hmm. So I was like always eating bar food. I was cooking like shitty food, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. And I really enjoy it because like it tastes so much better. Like drinking like super fucking spicy food and just like with beer, like it's so good.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know how to find the balance between fuel, spoiling yourself. You know, it's
because I do binge on some candy sometimes.
Do you?
I have a very big sweet tooth. Dude.
I've never had one. I think it's just all the booze though. It's so much sugar in that.
I think I've been better.
I think that was also something that I cut out so long ago because I was like, there's no reward for this besides this little like.
Yeah, and you feel shitty afterwards.
Immediately after.
That's so true. Oh my god,
after.
that is so true. I'm gonna throw it all the way.
So
candy all.
I think when you do that for long enough too, you like look at those things and your stomach almost immediately is like, like it knows.
That or you just get that like sugar rush and it's like tweaker.
Right, exactly. I can't believe how much like energy drinks and shit that I drink. I cut those out like 6 months ago or something, but that was my last like sugary like, and I was like, what? I mean, that was probably alcohol based too, of being like, I need to recover.
Or
I need
see
energy
these people
from
like
last night.
drinking like 4 cups of Pepsi, dude. Like they'll get up and get refills like 4 or 5 times just Pepsi. I'm like, dude, that is a 16-ounce
big
drink.
gulps.
Yeah, like
straight up gross me out, dude. I'm
man,
like,
this guy came in the other day, just fucking slams it down on the table. I'm like, just see Pepsi fly out of it, you know.
Need this glucose.
He also walked by me and he said, so how do you say women in Hawaiian? Do you know what that bathroom is?
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, it says that. And he says, does that mean
bitch
that...
tits?
I don't know. Does that mean that if I felt like a woman, I'd go in there? And I was like, sir, it's 2018. I'm not going to say anything. But he was like, yep, you said the right thing or whatever when he walked past again. I'm like, okay.
I love that, like, those little jokes that, like, people are trying to punch, like, social commentary into, like, I'm going to try to sneak my agenda on something right here real quick. You're like, okay, go to the back. Like, what are you talking about? Obviously, you wouldn't be in that fucking scenario because you're not one of those, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's, I don't know. Those, sarcastic. And I know, I get it. And I understand jokes and, like, but I think a lot of times people are trying to poke a bear in a weird way, you know, or it's just kind of like, haha, I still got it. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
People are weird.
People are weird. Yeah. People are strange even. People are imaginary.
Now I understand that song.
People are imaginary?
No, people are
strange. When you're strange.
Yeah. Well, going back to like the yoga and actually watch out, peeps. Here we go.
This turn? Did we take this turn? Okay, we're here.
I just want to say like thanks to you because you kind of pushed me in that direction. You kind of like I don't know. You just passed on information. You taught me in a way of how to discipline that because I didn't have that in my life, and so I just want to say thanks, man.
Well, you know, I heard this in a podcast. That I'm just the mailman, man.
Yeah.
I'm just taking in the information and I'm just sharing it with people, like, and it's up to you to make the move and be like, I'm gonna do that.
For sure.
I'm gonna make that next step.
And it's like, you have time. You have time.
I know, dude. I'm trying. I told you I didn't feel good today.
You fucking have time, Nick.
It is great. Like, yeah, you never think because our lives are so like, just schedule that shit out, man.
Yeah.
Just be like, I have to brush my teeth today and I gotta go to the gym too. I don't have a choice. Just do it, man. Come on, please.
You gotta surround yourself.
Please.
It's like that article that I sent you. It's a little corny article about why friends dissipate.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share. I didn't read it.
Yeah, you don't read articles. You're the
I do
clickbait master, bro.
It's when it's convenient for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it's like
guess.
if I have that like couple seconds, like I'm gonna read an article and like I don't know.
I mean,
I'm the same with like people send me songs like, oh, check this out.
Oh,
do you like this song? And I'm like, I'll listen to it. Like sometimes like I'll have the time then and I'll do it, and then if I don't, it just.
But it is
lost
that
in the
thing
feed.
like you already have shit scheduled for your time. Like in any little brief 5 minutes that I have, dude, I'll listen to a podcast. And that's how I get through 2-3 hour podcasts. Like,
right.
You
Yeah.
just listen bit by bit. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes you binge an hour. Like you have the time. While you're cleaning, while you're fucking, obviously you're multitasking.
That's what's funny because you even like that, or 42 minutes now of being like, that's like that's a decent amount. Like I think to the normal person, like they could be like, oh, I can absorb that. I can break it apart, but probably even not. Probably get like 10 minutes or skipping around. Like I don't have time for podcasts and like, oh, I listened to a 3-hour podcast. They're like, how did you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I turn off.
How do you watch a show? How do you watch the series? You just sit there and
Right.
watch it. That's exactly the same way.
This guy, like, we'll go back into drinking again. It's funny.
God, we love that topic.
Yeah, well, it's funny because when we first did the 30 days, I was like moving. I was like, God, this is a fucking terrible time to do this. Like, I want to drink after, and my sister was like, you're being a shithead. Like, I was, angry and like, just so irritated. But what happened was I was in a new place, creating like new habits and like new moments of joy in a way of like, finding new things to like, so I'm accustomed to that in this apartment now that it's like, I'll go to bed pretty early and then just like smoke a bowl and like listen to like a 2-hour podcast. Like I love those kind of moments. Like, and then I wouldn't do that before because I'd be like drinking and just be like, or I just wouldn't absorb any information. I can't fucking remember anything when I drink. Like, it gets very hazy very quickly. Is that a normal thing, or am I just drinking my memory away?
The 30 days. Is it?
Did
you feel like that before?
It was like I felt like my memory was getting bad of just like number. I don't want to say number. Like my memory was just getting bad of. What was happening the night before.
You're killing brain cells.
Right, but now when I'm not drinking, my memory is good though. Like, is it normal for like when you drink? Are you constant? Or I'd probably just drink too much. I mean, that's probably a normal thing. But anyways, I've created new areas of joy where I'm like, I don't want to drink tonight. Cause like I'd rather like listen to like, I don't know. It's like that self-improvement thing, of finding time for these things.
Yeah.
That was a huge roundabout fucking answer to what you were saying about like long podcasts. So like how before listening to podcasts, I'd be like, there's never time. Like, how do people fucking listen to this shit?
Yeah.
Like, what a waste of time. Or like, I don't, but now I'm just like.
No, but I get it. Like, you make the time. Like you just explained, like you in a way force yourself. But it's not forcing because you're like enjoying it. You just make time for it. Yeah.
I love it. It's what we're doing right now. It's just we're all sharing the same information. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I've already heard that," but you remind yourself, and we remind ourselves every fucking week, dude. And I'm like, yeah, man, this is why we're doing, because you're keeping your brain on high function. Like like you're running, you're grooving, you're moving, you're fine tuned. You're not. I don't know. So I don't know how we got to that. Oh.
Neither did I, man. I enjoyed it.
Do you have anything else?
How's your week been?
Good.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any like highs or lows. I was in my head a lot. I kept on catching myself creating these what if scenarios in my head of just being like, what if this, what if that, what if this?
Dude, so
I bet
did
you
I.
this is gonna happen. I bet you this is gonna happen.
That's like reanalyzing yourself in a way, like we talked about ever so often, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're at in your relationships, where you're at in life. Would you be happy if you died tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess that's true. It depends what your like infinity loop gets stuck on. That sounds positive
for sure. And
but I'm more of like creating like situations where things are gonna go bad or shit's gonna happen or like
do you think you like sabotage yourself?
That's what I think you do. I think you do in not only if you're maybe manifesting this to happen. But what I've heard before too, it's, you know, when you're putting yourself through all these scenarios and you're making that present moment unhappy, it's shitty. And then if that does come true, it's double shitty. You're living through the pain twice. So why not enjoy the moment now? And like if shit does happen, deal with it now. Yeah, then you're completely distorting your version of right now.
Right now.
And,
yeah, no, I get it.
And I think the more you can...
It's not healthy.
It's not. And I think the more you can try to stay present in the moment and really reminding yourself that. So maybe that's the thing about those infinity loops and these situations we're creating in our head. Is the fact that will never go away, but it's actually like, no, like we've kind of I don't know how to fucking say it. Like it's gratifying to know that like we're addressing it now, like because we notice it. Like so maybe that's never gonna go away, but you can say, hey, that's a fucking negative thought. Like I'm not gonna go down that train. I'm not gonna go down that road. I'm putting my foot down now.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah. So, no, it's maybe catching it
quicker or trying to get better.
Evacuating before the storm.
I've heard a lot in like early meditation of you're training your brain to do that subconsciously in a way where like. You realize less and less that it's happening because you're like your body's like, hey yeah, cool, stop. Yeah.
Karate chopping?
Yeah, pretty good, right?
Kung fu fighting?
Everybody was kung fu fighting. They're bad ideas away.
Yeah.
You just gotta like swat them. Ninja. Yeah, what's the fruit ninja?
It's like that meme that came out. It's like me in 2018 about like.
I love that. That's like such a good one. I know.
Positive, like negative.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's fun. And that's what you gotta do.
Yeah. You gotta swipe that fucking negativity.
Wherever you're at in life, folks.
But especially with people around you. I want to like get back into that again.
You want to surround yourself with good people, like positive people. Like
there's some people that I've realized it more and more as I try to stay present and happy. Of like some people that just fucking complain all the time about everything. I'm just like, and it starts sticking to you, dude. And you're just like,
that's hard because not everybody like. Who you work with at your employer, you know, not everybody there is going to be happy or have that same attitude, you know?
Right.
And that shit is contagious too. Like that negative shit bounces
rolls down, man. I'm just like, stop. Like you're giving me that bad juju or energy.
So it's like that article I read too, it's just saying like friends that actually want to continue being friends, like they'll show up on the important occasions like birthdays or if you're having a holiday gather, like, you know, those friends will go to that.
Sex change.
Yeah, sex change operations huge, obviously, because you don't want them lost in transition. Is
that a show or something?
Yeah, it was.
It's a clever name.
I've never seen it though. I've kind of been interested.
Wait, translation or lost in transition?
Transition.
Yeah, the show. I was like, that other one's a movie. That's a good movie. I think. Was it a good movie? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Who knows?
I've been watching movies differently.
I love movies so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and that's one thing of not drink, because dude, that just it's like when I drink things, like I don't enjoy. So I watch stupider things. I do dumber. Like I feel like I'm dumbing down my brain. So I'm like enamored by like silly or stupid things. Right. Like that quick like, and that's what I love about. I mean. It's still a drug. I'm getting high, but like I can watch a movie and just be like, and like I push my phone away. That's huge too. Just like, don't look at your phone. Like if I'm gonna spend this time to watch something, like I'm gonna fully invest myself and my attention in it, and it's really rewarding because of like how much fucking good art and movie and shit is out there. How do you watch movies differently now?
Well, I've been try and like screenwrite screenplays, kind of. Messing with that. So I kind of watch a movie as if I were like the writer and how I would imagine the script would be, like without reading the script, obviously just watching the movie. It just gives me, it's been more gratifying to watch movies or like realize like, holy shit, that's a good fucking piece of writing.
Yeah.
Or like jokes, dude, in movies, like that shit's hilarious. Like if it was written after you read that, I don't know, it's hard to read jokes.
That's so true. What's funny about that too is how you can learn things about your own craft and absorb it and kind of like tweak it for your own. Because I learned a lot about like writing music through like even stand-up comedians. Like, oh, they're making like a punch. They're getting to the punch. It's like you can tell a story, or you can use fewer words or like perform it differently, and how you use your voice and like to tweak it.
Right.
Like, like you can, and then
presentation.
It's like, and that adds so many dynamics to like
there was.
How you
I think I even told you about this before on the new season of Orange. There was a joke where they're all eating the smoothies or whatever. I might have said it on the podcast before, but they're all eating the smoothies. And the really smart guy, what's his name? Rodriguez, I don't know, one of the guards. He comes in, he says, all like formal, he says, eating those and not eating food kills brain cells. But he says like scientifically or whatever. Right. And then the other guy comes in and he's like, not eating makes you stupid, right? And they're like, oh! It's hilarious, and it's like it's all about. And then the guy says, "It's all about presentation, man."
Right, exactly.
It's like I literally just said that. It's all about presentation.
What's like the last good writing, good script thing that you've watched, seen? What's the last thing?
Last night, Crazy Rich Asians.
Last night.
Yeah, last night.
Or the other last.
Right now.
Yeah, tomorrow. I think I set that question up so I could answer it.
Okay, what's the best thing you've watched?
Let's think. I watched Her. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah,
I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and it's one of those movies.
Joaquin?
Yeah, he's good in great movies.
What's that?
He's in great movies.
Yeah.
But he was, you've seen Her?
I've seen Her. He falls in love with the bit.
One of those things that just like just the music's so perfect, like the writing's really good. The Scarlett Johansson, like just for doing a voice, I don't know. She did
give you a boner.
It was just like very.
Were you in love with her?
It was very like she was so soothing with the voice and that weird like nature over nurture way of like trying to like. I don't. It's a strange thing. I see it too as like reality of people sleeping with robots and shit in China, like that getting more realer and I'm sure people do it in America too, but I know like sex robots.
They're expensive though. I've looked.
Yeah, and they get like they're getting like creepy and creepier, like realistic, where it's I can see them like programming this thing into something, and like people
just having sex with robots.
Well, yeah, but it's what's weird about that too, though, is it's not searching for that sexual thing, and that's what I liked about that movie. It was also like just like the part of being in a relationship where it's that connection with somebody or with a voice that like kind of gets you, or like for me that like sex, I don't know. My sex drive is probably pretty low, to be honest. Like I don't try at all. Like but I do. What I do miss is like that connection with people. Yeah. So it was cool to see the movie framed that way, where like he falls in love with this voice, and then spoiler alert, then she's like, her network's so big that she's talking to thousands of people, and he's like, and that like wow, like that, and that kills it for. And that's the thing, like that, obviously it ties back to a real person's obviously better than a robot or a voice, shit. And he's like, no shit. But it is crazy how long like that infinity loop or cycle could be carried on. Like we could create that, and we could create that with VR. We could create that with all kinds of things that were like just tickling our brain in the right.
With that. Eventually, you need
that's the thing with phones,
connection like physically, though, don't you?
I don't know, because you think about 10 years ago. Could you ever say that everybody's just gonna be staring at the screen as they're walking through the grocery store, as they're walking on the bus, as they're walking when they're eating with their family, they're like staring at their phone. It's like it's so engraved in us. Like that's only the first step.
For sure.
Where are we going? So let's move up to the woods. I could have you ever seen yourself doing that? I'm such an introvert, and I'm such like isolated
I
person.
mentioned it to
would
Rachel. I was like, hey,
love-
let's sell the house and get a cabin or something. Or, you know, just, I don't know, because I'm going hunting soon.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I want that wild meat in my fridge. You know, I kind of want to try
Damn.
that.
That should be your Tinder.
I want wild meat in my fridge. That's a good Tinder. I think I'd get a lot of matches.
It's kind of wild deer meat we talked
But
about.
I don't know. I'm interested in seeing like how it affects my diet or how it affects my body.
Do you eat
'Cause-
like ketogenic ever? Like just high? It's great, dude.
Yeah.
Just high, just meat,
the meat diet?
just meat. I don't do anything like that like crazy. Like I do that. I eat like that a couple days a week, and that I
I mean, I eat a
it's not
shit
my
ton of
whole,
meat.
It's not my whole diet, but like
No.
sometimes I'll just like grill up a huge steak. And be like I don't need anything else. Maybe like a couple eggs.
A potato.
But even that like not absolutely good for you.
I love potatoes.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Potatoes
What's
are
your favorite potato style?
a good French fry?
I know French fries are my weakness,
fucking
dude.
Amazing.
I was
Okay,
actually
who
thinking
you
about you the other. I don't know how to frame this without being weird. Like I think you came into work, and I was like, I think just seeing you like in a different frame. I was like, God, like dude, you look like fucking like not skinny, but like fit, like good. Like you're wearing your like weight differently in a way. Like you.
Thank you.
Like you do like so. Are like are you eating a lot?
Well, like I said,
with the yoga and
I've
shit?
I've used food like fuel
Mhm.
mainly for probably about a month now. And don't get me wrong, I do binge. I do fucking eat my bean and cheese burritos, or I've eaten a lot of beans. But it's like I'll eat like chicken mainly. Like my meals are mainly at work, so it's like chicken.
Yeah.
And sometimes steak, sometimes fish. Like I'll just switch it up. But it's not like I'm not eating unhealthy
Or not
too
like-
unhealthy. I think I found a good balance.
You're like
you
not
know,
craving
with-
to always be eating.
Yeah.
Do you ever use it?
Well, I do crave to always be eating, but I discipline
Oh,
myself
do
not
you?
to. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to, dude, because or else I'll just fucking
eat all day.
Especially if like I'm bored.
That's the one
If
thing.
I'm bored, I'll just fucking
yeah.
eat, dude.
I've gotten away from things. I'll realize it, but I also feel like, it's like back to that hunter gatherer thing. Like if that's in our genes, if that's like in our blood, of like you weren't always eating. Like you weren't always just like, oh, this is like you need your body to like know there are times to eat. You need to like you need to crave food. And I feel like when I am a little bit hungry, I'm like performing,
Better,
a little
almost,
better.
yeah.
I do feel like
You're more
not
aware.
starving, but
No,
but I'm
obviously.
not like overindulging. I feel like I'm present. I feel like I'm communicating well.
Yeah. Well then, yeah, for sure. So like bringing it back to like, would I ever fucking live out in the woods? Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, me too. I was like a long relationship that I was in. We even like talked about that. Like when we're 30, which I am now. Like we were like, and we're still like working the same jobs and shit like that. Like we're gonna. That was like our plan. Like we were.
This move.
Yeah, like we had like a blood pact.
That's crazy.
No, we didn't actually have a blood pact. But we talked about it a lot because like, oh, shit. That's a dark shit.
Yeah, no.
I did date a girl that liked we would cut ourselves together.
That's weird.
Very strange.
That's fucking
I
weird,
know.
dude.
There's this one like.
There's like BDMS or whatever, and then there's like
Don't kink shame me,
is that
dude.
torture? In my case, is that what it is?
What?
Kink shaming?
Yo, like that's what's strange about like addiction. How you feed off other people that are like suffering through the same things.
That's
Like
surrounding
you
yourself
can
with.
do or negative. Yeah, like you're like that shit. Like somebody, especially like your girlfriend, should be like, "Hey, dude, cut that shit out." Not like next to you, like, "Yeah,
Slit my wrist.
yeah, exactly." So, glad I'm out of there. But this is a different girlfriend. And we were talking about and it's hard now because it's like music is one thing that's always tied me
Yeah.
into civilization, made me fucking be on social networks stuff. Because I was off that shit for so many years until I was like, oh shit, you have to do that to do this or
Yeah.
for
Well,
podcasting
nowadays,
too. It's like
yeah.
now we have to. But I would love to just be self-sufficient.
I think you find a balance.
How?
Obviously, I'm not
Let's
there.
move out to the woods.
You just have to be rich.
That's the other thing.
Money would help.
Money would definitely help. So sponsors,
Sponsors.
parents, grandmothers, sugar daddies, People with weird challenges.
Yeah.
Like they
We'll be
want us. Like,
advocates.
I wanted to use this platform to tell you I'm actually starting a cam boy thing where I'm camboying, eating food naked on my bed, whatever you want.
Interesting.
Fucking, you type it in.
Can we get the
finger
link?
anything?
Link
I'll
in the
eat
bio on
anything.
Instagram?
Link is in the bio. What do you want in any hole? And I'm doing it.
Sounds
For
good.
nothing.
What is your
For
sister think about
$2.
that? $2?
She's filming it.
Oh,
It was her idea. She's like, you're doing this all the time.
What, is she getting a part of, like, the money?
I don't think it's fair. She's interning right now, so she needs the real life experience. You know what I mean? Because what's more valuable? What's more valuable than experience? It's not money. It's
Yeah,
experience.
it's experience, that's
So
what
you
we're
want
looking
that
for.
experience of
Yeah.
unpaid, I don't know. Why is that? So, why have we accepted that in our culture? What kind of fucking shitty ass trick is that?
What?
I was doing that shit for so long, being a chef, where they're like, we pay like, when I was like a sous chef. So I'll adhere to that. And when I was living, I was living for to be a chef. Like rock and roll was out of the question. I was like, this is what I'm doing. But how many times where it's just like, the money's not good. I understand the hours. Like you don't want to calculate what you're actually making an hour because you'll just be sad. But you're gonna learn so much experience. Like you're gonna learn so much. And as you're young, you're like, all right, cool. I'm learning. I want to learn. And you're kind of suckered into it in a way because you do have to do that to get to the next level. You need to fucking that blood and sweat to get to that next level. But then at some point, I was like 26, 28 or something, and I'm like, I don't want to learn. I want to get paid for the hard work that I'm doing. You know what I mean? And you have to put your foot down at some point
For sure.
with anything and be like, I deserve something else in this. But I think
can't keep getting taken advantage.
But I feel like even at the beginning stages, when you're working these crazy fucking hours for shit money, where you're getting experience, why can you not be getting paid for learning your experience?
Yeah.
And with offices, I know it's a lot of that same shit too.
Or people getting out of college and their jobs are like, oh, well, we're looking for people with 4 to 5 years experience. Like, you just got out of fucking college.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to intern for 4 years.
Give me a chance. That's what you have to do. You have to be for 3 years getting coffee for the manager.
Yeah, my cousin went through that, dude.
It's like, dude, why have we accepted this? It's such fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And what's such fucking bullshit about it? I'll tell you what's such fucking bullshit about it.
What grinds your gears, man?
Is the median wage gap is not going higher, but the people are fucking making more and more money. So it's there is money there. People interns and shit can be making money. They can be making more but they just they don't want to share.
Fucking
the job
bastards.
creators. But it's you created jobs, but you wouldn't have these places without all these fucking people that are busting your ass for them. And then you have the free thing. That grinds my gears, man. I think that's some bullshit. But I also think it's bullshit because I've wanted to do other things in my life, and it's so hard to get anywhere. Because they're like, oh, well, you don't have any experience doing that. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm a hard worker, dude. Give me a chance. Come on.
Yeah.
Pull down your trousers, get out your Johnson, and I'll fucking go to town.
Yeah. Oh, Weinstein your ass.
Weinstein. You can Weinstein my ass.
Yeah.
You can wax this boy clean, and I'll do it for $6 an hour. I don't care. I want that experience.
Calm down, Spacey.
That's a great movie too. It's a new movie too.
Which movie?
I don't know. Wasn't he just in a new movie?
Yeah, Billionaire Boys Club.
I like it.
It's Kevin Spacey.
It's a good.
It just cracks me up, man. The name.
Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, I don't know.
Were you ever in any of those kid Boys and Girls Clubs, Boy Scouts?
Me?
Girl Scouts. Nothing?
Nothing, bro. I was part of a skate crew. My local hood.
Ride or Die?
Skate crew.
Did you have a name? You had to have a name.
I can't remember.
Come on.
I can't remember what the name was.
The Batos?
I think it was one of my good friends, actually, Daniel, and he called that little area where we skated Damnation because his initials were DAM.
Okay.
Or R, I should say. So he called that little skate area. It's oh, we're going to Damnation today. So he was kind of the little skate leader.
What would you name your skate crew now?
If I had a skate crew?
If it was me and you.
If it was you and I? Yeah. Well, we have a bike gang.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, shout out to fucking Bike Gang Green.
Green.
Yo, Rachel, I know Pedro's making you listen to this.
Rachel, you gotta
what
wait
it
every
is,
time.
dude. I fucking can't wait to ride again.
Dude, it's been so hot. It's been way too hot.
I know. We probably have like 2 more months.
I gotta get my bike tuned out.
Let's give a little backstory. Like, so we actually kind of became friends that way.
Yeah.
Of riding, because I love riding bikes.
Right.
You like riding bikes, and we ride bikes together.
With little lights on.
Dude, when I was a kid, that was my shit too.
Riding bikes.
I would ride everywhere.
I'd skate
man.
everywhere.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, and I think that's funny. Like I connected those dots of like that's why I like riding bikes so much still. I'm like, 'cause I always had that in me.
It's freeing, dude. It's like
totally. Especially when you have like some music on and shit. Yeah. But it was cool because we kind of bonded over that because. I'm so weird with like how I hang out with people and shit. Like just because when I have like my own time where it's like I like to either be creating something or like unwinding because I do so much shit where it's like I like having like friendships with people like that. You're doing things like actually like you know what I mean, like
going out. Yeah, that's
fun. And it was cool for that reason because it was like so I'm excited if I can get out there and start doing that again, man. And we can talk about those rides here now too.
For sure.
You have a
platform now.
Who gave you the rack for your car?
Yeah.
And we can fucking start taking advantage of that.
Although I gotta fix it. A strap broke on it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, don't really strap schmap.
Yeah. It's got 4 others.
We'll put Rachel's bike on there. I love bikes.
Yeah, man. I can't wait till it fucking cools down. In general.
Weather.
It's been miserable, folks. Take it away, Nick.
The weather here is hot.
Did you wake up to like a fucking storm the other day? It was like 5:30 cool, and it was raining. And
it was only like wasn't long at all.
I know. I woke up for it. I went outside and I just kind of sat there for a little bit. Then went back to bed.
I love days like that.
Me too, dude.
I love getting high on those days. Just like super.
Wake and bake.
I love wake and bacon.
That's the best thing.
I work a morning job, so I don't do that because I'm not one of the many kitchen people that
manager or functioning.
Well, just I don't know. It just feels like such a waste to me to like. First of all, like weed's not cheap in any means, and I also feel like it's a bit like blowing your load, where it's like you're like the
I
first.
love to blow my load.
That's true. So why not just blow it right away? But you know, like if you blow your load multiple times in a day, what time is the best time? It's the first time you do it.
It is.
So what's fucking better than like when you finally get off work and you get all your shit done, and then you can like relax and smoke weed. You're like, holy shit, this is fucking, this is nice.
Might try that out.
But anyways, on my days off, I definitely fucking wake and bake. I love it. Yeah. I love how it feels.
For sure.
But my days off are basically a haze of weed smoke, so. So it's like I'm blowing my load for 12 hours. It's a 12-hour load.
Consistent. Sounds like a pig. Don't pigs come for like 30 minutes?
Do they?
I don't know. I've heard some weird myth about that. Can you imagine that? Just busting your load for 30 minutes? You know, fucking constant. Yeah, I'd get.
Like, can you fucking calm
I think I'd
down?
pass out. Like, I can't take it. You just pass out and just fucking.
Yeah, you like, because like aren't like guys notorious for like falling asleep after fucking?
Yeah.
So it's like you like fall asleep, just coming, and just like wake up like 15 minutes, like God, will you shut? Like, she's like, I'm still coming.
That's a weird.
Well, I'm happy for you. But I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, can you shut up?
And I came before you came. Like I came before you took off my pants. It's been so long. Jeez. It's been 1 week since I looked at you. What's that song? It's a good one.
Classic.
It's one of those
the other day I
classic
was
things
at work and one of the coworkers and she like mentioned Justin Bieber or something and she's like, but it was his old Justin Bieber.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, you mean like classic Justin Bieber? And just, I cracked up about it. It's like, how long has he been out?
Speaking of Justin, didn't like, I think we were talking about Post Malone, like had to land his plane.
Oh, yeah, his fucking
airplane shit, dude. And that podcast I was listening to, I guess every day there's like, so, because one of the claims is that there's an electrical fire, but they don't think that's what happened because it wouldn't have kept going for 7.5 hours. Yeah.
The Malaysia flight? Okay.
But, so I guess with electrical fires, there's like 3 a day on airplanes, which is crazy. Holy shit. Most of the time, they just kind of like, I don't know, use some dust off or something. Just like,
or a fire extinguisher, I would hope.
That'd probably make more sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't
dust
think
off.
Like, dust.
Is
we don't got anything. Use the dust off.
Have you ever done the dust off? Have you ever like inhaled? Bro, it's fucking wicked.
I think I've done like whippets. Is that the same?
It's, I don't know. I think Whippets are kind of more like laughing gas, isn't it? And it kind of gives you that little head rush and that, I don't know, but when I inhale the dust off, do Whippets like make your voice?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's... But I think it's different in a can, dude. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like supposed to be
Well,
healthier.
they're little cans.
Yeah, no, it's like
yeah,
I'm talking about the dust off
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
your
yeah,
keyboard
yeah.
shit. You know, that compressed air that
That'll get you there.
Bro, I did that fucking some dumb reason in high school. Oh, go figure. We did that in the fucking halls and I'm just laughing, dude, because it fucking distorts your voice or whatever. And I'm just like, my head's fucking
going everywhere,
pounding.
Supposedly, because
it's just so bad for you, dude. I've heard you can fucking die from that shit.
I'm sure. Supposedly they sell those at sex shops, the Whippets, because I think you're supposed to use it like as or before you're coming. Somebody told
poppers?
Me. What? Poppers?
Poppers? Do you know what those are?
What's that?
It's like that inhalation thing. I
think it's the same idea, right? It's just like a little canister of like.
I don't know if there's. I know they sell them at smoke shops.
Well, how do you do? Like, how would you like? Oh, okay, all right. I don't know. Then just all of a sudden it's like, whoa. Maybe that would be how you would do a 30-minute cum. If anybody wants to try that.
And send the video?
Send the video or be on the podcast and we'll talk about you jerking off and inhaling it.
Yeah.
And I want to know if it's better before you come, as you come, after you come. I don't want you just to do it one way. Like, I want the whole story. I want to make sure you did some scientific research because this is a huge platform.
Please.
And you're going to be able to promote yourself.
Yeah.
Promote your friends, family, let them know who you are and what you've done because you might get a grant.
Yeah. I mean, it's top of the line research. We need to know this information.
Right, because I don't think there's directions of when you're supposed to use it.
No.
Yeah. That's true. Also, shout out.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I heard like poppers it's supposed to like relax you and it gives you that little head rush and
like a pill, like a popper, like kind of like
you inhale them through your nose, so it's like you go, and fucking.
We should get them for next episode.
You want to try poppers next
we'll have dust off, we'll have whippets, we'll have poppers.
Maybe we should do the research before asking the listeners.
Jerk each other off.
Well, let's try it out. You never know.
Oh man,
that sounds like a good way to fucking end an episode.
All right, well, hey, thanks for tuning in. If you tuned in, if you skipped through, if you got to this part, you got to this part, man.
If you didn't, you did it. But please, if you haven't yet, give us a couple stars on there, man.
Yeah. Or email us.
Or email us.
Let's start getting some interaction going on here. It'd be cool. But
sure. I think we need to start interacting more on our IG too.
I'm enjoying the fuck out of this though, man.
No, I am too, dude.
Do we have a guest next week?
Maybe.
Oh, it's a maybe.
It's a maybe.
Okay.
I have to reach out again.
Yeah, and also
if though.
Yeah, if you want to come on, you can come over. If you want to come over, you can come over.
So funny, man. All right. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next week. We love you.